All right, good morning, everybody. Today is July 20th. It is my youngest daughter's 14th birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And we are here for the Marion County Board of Commissioners board session, Senator Hearing Room, 555 Court Street Northeast in Salem. If you would, please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Looking up at that eagle, it reminded me sitting on the boat the other day and watching a bald eagle come down
Yeah.
and grab a fish.
There's one living up above on that ridge above the bridge
Yeah,
up there.
there's several of them up
Yeah,
there.
super great.
I diverted, sorry.
That's okay. Are you here for public comment or for the public hearing?
Public hearing.
Okay. Before I say there's nobody here for public comment, so we are going to move on to the consent calendar. Commissioner Cameron, would you read that?
I would be happy to, Madam Chair. I'll move the consent calendar. First item under Public Works, approve amendment number 1 of incoming funds, intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon Department of Transportation to add $137,287 in federal funds to a new contract total of $4,846,855.78 for the Hazel Green Road Northeast, Pudding River Bridge replacement through November 3rd, 2030. Well, that's a long ways out there. Under Public Works, item number 2, receive notice of the hearings officer's decision denied administrative review case number 22-001 Dunn and Cano Barth. Excuse me. Under the Sheriff's Office, approve amendment number 3 of incoming funds, intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon State Marine Board to add $149,764 for a new contract total of $322,880 to continue to provide law enforcement services related to recreational boating through June 30th, 2023. Watch out when you're on the lake. The next item under Sheriff's Office, approve the incoming funds grant award agreement with the United States Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice Assistance in the amount of $180,453 for the fiscal year 2020 State Criminal Alliance Assistant Program through December 31st, 2022.
I will second the motion, but could we have Lindsay come up? Is she here?
Yep, she's on the back
I
wall.
just have a question about this. The land use thing.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please introduce yourself.
Lindsay King, Marion County Planning.
Thank you.
So here's my question. This has to do, this one that we're just getting notice of the hearings officer decision. It has to do with the farm income test.
Yes.
Right? And the farm income test says the applicant must establish that they received in excess of $80,000 the last 2 years for their crop, right?
That's correct.
But they did provide that, but it's not good enough?
Based on the evidence provided by the applicant, it did not conclude that it met the income test for farm product.
Because they didn't, that's what I'm confused about. From the record, it seems like they did provide evidence that
They did provide evidence, but it wasn't sufficient enough to
why?
pass that income test.
Why? Could you just characterize it for us?
I believe that there was no contract of sale, there was no product harvested.
Okay,
It was Christmas trees.
okay.
And based on the size of the lot, the amount of trees that were sold consecutively year after year, the math wasn't adding up. And there were a couple other items in the hearings officer report, and I can't remember them right off the top of my head.
So did they, so did they get more than $80,000? Like, did someone give them a check for more than $80,000 2 years in a row?
Yes, they did receive 2 checks for more than $80,000 a year for 2 years consecutively.
For farm products?
For farm products, from what the applicant statement said.
But it looks like, Commissioner, if you look at page 3, item number 9, the corresponding documents don't align for for dates for, it's basically saying the invoice dates don't match up to when they should be claiming the exemption.
Okay. So they have an opportunity to appeal the decision?
Yes, they
that
do.
we did? Okay. Okay, I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the motion passes. All right, we'll move on to our first item under action for business services. To consider approval of the standard professional services contract with McKenzie Engineering Incorporated in the amount of $80,500 to provide architectural and engineering services for the new Marion County Evidence Building through June 28th, 2024. Terry, oh, just kidding. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're
Not
quite
Terry.
No, not Terry. Name is Jeff Bonney. I'm the facilities analyst.
Yeah, hi.
Hi,
Nice to see you.
good to see you again. So what we have is, as you recall, we've approved the new evidence building. So earlier this year, we sent out a request for qualifications, had 3 architecture teams respond back, and reviewed them all and decided that McKenzie was the most qualified team, based primarily due to the experience that they have in these types of facilities. In their package, they had a number of examples of police facilities that they've done in the past that included evidence storage. So we've reviewed their proposal, we've put together a contract, and part of the contract negotiations with them, it was determined it's in everybody's best interest to break it up into a couple of phases. So this is just the first phase of the contract. And so at this point, we're going to meet with them, refine the program, have them do some schematic designs, and at the end of the schematic design phase, we'll have a good idea of what this building's going to look like, and then move forward with signing a contract for them to proceed with the rest of the work, and prepare the construction drawings, and then on into the construction phase. So it would be 1 more contract, possibly 2 more contracts, depending on how we break out the phasing to go forward for the completion of the project.
But you don't have to rebid those options? Like you don't have to put out another RFP to be able to do the phased approach?
No.
Okay.
And the only reason that might happen is if for some reason negotiating the other phases, we can't come to an agreement. Don't see that happening, but it's a possibility.
In the second phase of your process, will you consider the opportunity to purchase goods like materials early? I know that some of our contracts that we're working on in Public Works, they just went through an adjusted process to kind of hurry up and make purchase because materials are hard to get.
I think not so much this is for just design services,
Okay.
not for the construction, but what you're talking about when we come to go out to bids for building it, that's something that could be considered.
So this company's only, they're like the architect,
Yeah.
basically. Got it. Okay, thanks. Do you have any questions? Do you?
Nope.
Okay, Colin, did you make the motion?
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the standard professional services contract with McKenzie Engineering Incorporated in the amount of $80,500 to provide architectural and engineering services for the new Marion County Evidence Building through June 28th, 2024.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to see you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, we're going to move on to Health and Human Services. To consider approval of Amendment Number 9 to the Incoming Funds Intergovernmental Agreement with the Oregon Health Authority to add $4,956,627.42 for a new contract total of $19,087,297.31 to operate and contract for the operation of public health services through June 30th, 2023. I have to tell you that every time I read one of your paragraphs, I go back to kindergarten and freak out about where's that decimal point. Like, is it millions, thousands? What are we doing here?
They are some large contracts.
They
Yes.
are.
So for the record, Ryan Matthews, Administrator with Marion County Health and Human Services. And part of the reason these are such large contracts is they keep amending, prior fiscal year contracts to add funding for the new year. So, I think it is worth noting that although this contract amount is in total is 19 million, this 4.9 million is really meant to be the funding for the new fiscal year starting July 1st, so fiscal year 22-23 for us. And this is awarding funding for sort of our core public health functions, when we things like public health emergency preparedness, immunizations, HIV prevention, WIC, nurse home visiting, all those sort of core critical base functions that we offer in public health. One of the reasons that you can kind of do the math there and realize, well, there was 14 million the prior year, and now they're only amending and giving us 4.9 million. It is important to remember there was a lot of one-time funding there related to COVID-19 that was in the prior fiscal year contract. And there's also some funds that will be amended and carried forward in the future. So we have some funding for early laboratory capacity. It's known as our ELC grant, which was awarded for 5.5 million in fiscal year 21-22. Because that contract or those funds can carry forward through the end of 2024, they don't try to sort of guess and figure out how much to award in the new fiscal year. So when we submit our final expenditure report in August, they'll know exactly how much of that 5.5 million we'll still have, and they'll re-award that in an amendment to add to this contract. So there's funding such as that, and then I think there's some immunizations funding that also has not made its way into this contract yet. So I think the state hasn't received the federal funds yet or doesn't know the exact amount that we'll receive. So I expect an amendment coming in September to add some funding to this contract. When we compared this award to our budget, it really aligns with our budget estimates for all the different services. I think the one exception, our WIC program that we are continuing to see, and this is something that is a national issue. There's less and less participation in the WIC program nationally, and funding has been declining because it's sort of driven based on participation. So, for example, there's about $120,000 reduction in WIC funding from the prior year. And I know this is something at the federal level, they are starting to look at that funding formula to see if there's ways to sort of mitigate that, because there's a lot of program infrastructure and staffing that takes place that, a small drop in participants doesn't necessarily mean that your program costs less to operate. So I think that they're looking at some funding alternatives there. But that's something we are watching, and we do have some other funds available to supplement that program. We can use some of our modernization dollars, for example, to continue to sort of fill that shortfall. But that's something, worth watching the trends nationally and seeing how that looks.
You mentioned WIC. I have two questions, but it just spurred this visual in my head that occurred last week. So the WIC program, when you go to the store, when a parent goes to the store to purchase goods, Cheerios is an approved item. I remember this from when I was a child and I was on WIC. And the box of Cheerios right now is $8. So is this program working towards supporting the adjustment in inflation, and does that even matter on that voucher? I mean, it matters to you at the end of the day, right? On your kind of what you have in the bank for each voucher?
So the actual voucher funding, so we sort of like administer that and make sure people have it. We don't, fund the voucher card, so that doesn't come out of our budgets. That is a good question. I'll see if they've, I don't know if they've really built that inflation into sort of the amount that people are eligible for. That is a good question. I'll verify that in terms of.
Well, I just wonder. I mean, it's obviously
but yeah,
the cost
your
of
money
milk
goes.
has gone up considerably, and
everything has gone up significantly, and that's a good question. I'll ask about that. I know things like our farming, we have for the farm vouchers and some of those kinds of things, those costs are going to go up as well,
right.
And so will those vouchers stretch further. So I'll check and see if that's being looked at nationally, and I'll give you an update on that. I wasn't aware if that changed.
Thank you. And then my second question is, it looks like on the kind of allocation of funds that are coming this way for the decrease, there is $1,420,357 allocated to LPHA leadership, governance, and program implementation. Can you tell me about that?
Sure. That is actually our public health modernization funding.
Okay.
I don't know why they I don't know why they give it the titles they do. No, I believe it's referred to as modernization somewhere more in the program element language, but the title of the program element on the funding.
We're not going to send you to New York for $1 million.
No, this is not just for our leadership and governance.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Did you have questions?
I do. Ryan, I know sometimes the way this works is they start off with this and then they adjust the amounts going forward.
Right.
Do you have any anticipation of like which categories, you expect to see significantly more funding in the upcoming
Sure,
year?
yes. We do have a couple things that are coming. So one of them will be tobacco prevention. For example, you'll see PE 1301, where our base allocation is $125,000. I know that the conversations at OHA and through CLO are local health officials that meet, is that there's about $900,000 that's going to be coming to the county in additional tobacco prevention dollars. So we're starting to think about like what would that mean, and then we'll certainly be bringing a plan to management update to kind of discuss, hey, here's some funding, what if any are the new requirements associated with that, and what are some thoughts about how we might want to use those dollars. So that's one where we know the state's making some additional investments in. I know there'll be some additional funding for immunizations because it hasn't made its way into the contract yet, and like I mentioned, the ELC funds, there should be about $5 million or so added in a future supplemental. We're going to be using those funds in the short term for things like monkeypox that we're starting to kind of ramp up for, to make sure we have the supports in place.
Sorry, which one is ELC?
They don't have, because they haven't awarded the funding, it would be under PE01, and then I think it's like -04. It's not on the funding sheet yet because they're waiting to see how much we've spent to know how much to carry over and award. But I can't think of any others that stick out at the top of my head that we're expecting significant changes. I think there might be some more A&D prevention dollars. I think, again, when we talk about supports for alcohol and drug at the state level, they're really pushing a lot of funding out on the behavioral health side, but we're expecting that we may see some increases there for the prevention side as well. So I would expect we'll probably see an amendment to add some funding there.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Thank you.
All right, are you good?
Ready? No, good. Madam Chair, I'll move that we approve amendment number 9 to the incoming funds intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon Health Authority to add $4,956,627.42 for a new contract total of $19,087,297.31 to operate and contract for the operation of public health services through June 30th, 2023.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Motion
Thank you,
passes.
Commissioners.
Thanks, Brian. Have a great day.
Thanks,
All right, now we'll move on to Public Works to consider approval of amendment number 2 to the contract for services with River City Environmental Incorporated to add $750,000 for a new contract total of $3,750,000 to adjust the base disposal rate for Leach A wastewater disposal through June 30th, 2026. Brian May and
Andrew Johnson.
Hi, Andrew.
Good morning. For the record, Brian May, Public Works Environmental Services Division Manager. For the record, Andrew Johnson, Environmental Services Operations Supervisor.
Nice to see you.
All right, so what we have for you today is amendment number 2 with River City Environmental to transport and dispose of our leachate generated up at North Marion out of the ash monofil. So kind of the first question is, what the heck is leachate? This is the moisture and precipitation that actually percolates through our landfill. And based on regulatory requirements from DEQ, we're required to have an engineered collection system that collects what's now called leachate and then take it to an appropriate DEQ approved disposal location. So that's what this kind of framework's all around. So currently our operations, we take the ash from Cavanta during the dry months up to North Marion, where we actually landfill that material, and you see those nice little piles west of the ODOT scales as you go north of Woodburn. In the winter months, we ship that off to Coffin Butte, and they use it for alternate daily cover. So we kind of take advantage of the dry months for ourselves to avoid that leachate generation because of the costs associated with it. And then we actually benefit Coffin Butte in the winter months for the ADC requirement for the alternate daily cover during when it's tough to get good dry material for cover. Now, typically in a normal year, we'll generate 2 to 2.5 million gallons if we're kind of doing this normal operation. So here last Thanksgiving, just after Thanksgiving, our pumps failed that we load our leachate trucks with. So based on constraints with contractors and supply chain issues, we just fixed that situation last month, about mid the 14th of June. So we haven't hauled leachate since basically Thanksgiving till now. In that time frame, our primary contractor for disposal of leachate, River City Environmental, their 2 approved disposal locations actually have gone into an ownership change and have required new disposal contracts. That's why we see this 4% increase for River City for the disposal side of things. It's because they had contractual requirements to change that's now impacted us. That being said, our new rate with CPI increase is about 20 cents per gallon. We do have a second option that we brought for you last year. So we have a backup plan in a sense with this Patriot Environmental. They're at 30 cents a gallon. So there's still 10 cents more for disposal and transportation. So that's the driving force of the amendment today with River City, so that we can continue to move that material and start hauling again. Our lagoon balance is about 6 million gallons. We have 12 million gallons of capacity, so we have some room. But leachate's one of those things you don't like to keep around. The quicker we can get rid of it, the better off we are. So at this point, staff recommends approval of the amendment number 2 for River City Environmental. Oh, I should also state that there is an increase also of $750,000 in the amendment, also just to cover that additional cost for the 5-year period. So.
Yeah, yeah.
Who thinks of this stuff, right? I was on a
Exactly.
call yesterday with a group of people. It's like, you know, environmental services. But no, you just throw your trash can out there. You don't think about all this stuff, right, that we have to deal with. Do a good job dealing with it, so.
Although, I think some people do. We had a road conversation yesterday where somebody said, maybe if we fix this road, the recycle truck will come down the lane.
Yeah.
So somebody somewhere is thinking about it.
So Brian, I knew there was an opportunity that some of this leachate was going to be used to cool the plant. Is that ever taken place? Can you share a little bit about that, where we're at, or is that?
Yeah, so as part of that, River City Environmentals, there are 2 disposal options. One includes Cavanta, where they do inject the waste or the liquid waste into their flues to cool temperatures to allow them to actually incinerate more. So it's primarily their backup to their primary disposal location, but we do send some to Cavanta.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yeah. You have anything?
This is just a hit to our budget, right? Our environmental services budget.
Correct.
We can handle this?
Yes, yes we can.
Andrew, you here? Do you want to add anything? Otherwise, he just drug you
Brian
down
did
here
a
to
great
hang
job.
out.
I was here to answer any
He just
outlying questions.
Madam Chair, you just wanted to wear a tie like Commissioner.
I feel like, you were at Management Update or something
Yeah.
recently, right?
I was here last week, so.
Here in board session?
Oh,
About this?
No, not
No,
about
I think somebody trained us on this recently, which is
Yeah.
why we don't have a plethora of questions
Well,
for you,
that's good.
so I apologize. They did a great job whenever that was. Okay, calm, I'll take a motion.
All right, Madam Chair. Move that we approve amendment number 2 to the contract for services with River City Environmental Incorporated to add $750,000 for a new contract total of $3,750,000 to adjust the base disposal rate for leachate wastewater disposal through June 30th, 2026.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, the motion passes. Thank you both.
Thank you
Have a
much.
good day. All right, now we're going to move on to consider approval of the incoming funds intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon Department of Transportation in the amount of $3 million for the Coronavirus State Fiscal Recovery Fund grant agreement intended to fund the McKay Road Northeast Traffic Safety Improvement Project through April 30th, 2027. Ryan and Carl, hi.
Hi. Good morning. For the record, Ryan Crother, Public Works Capital Projects Manager.
For the record, Carl Lund, Marion County Traffic Engineer, Public Works.
All right, as you said, we're here today to talk to you about our McKay Road Northeast Traffic Safety Improvements Project and the ARPA Coronavirus State Fiscal Recovery Fund grant agreement. So the project's located in North Marion County. You can see on the map here. We anticipate it will span between Highway 219, I believe, and Case Road with intermittent improvements within that area. So at this point, I'll turn it over to Carl and he'll talk about the project and what we're actually going to build.
Thank you, Ryan. So this is on the Marion County's safety corridor. The safety corridor is the Jurgen Ellen McKay corridor between I-5 and Highway 219. This particular one, like Ryan said, is between Case Road and Highway 219. What you see here are the existing conditions. So the picture on the upper left is in a draw along this road, and then there's a straightaway there on the bottom right. So the safety corridor, the reason it exists is that there's an expected crash rate of a little over 6 crashes per million vehicle miles traveled. The current crash rate on this road is a little over 12 crashes per million vehicle miles traveled. And so this allowed us to get a safety corridor to try to reduce the crash rate. The safety corridor is a 4-year program. What it allows us to do is to increase the enforcement and to focus our efforts to try to reduce that crash rate for a long-term basis rather than just on a short-term basis. And that's what this project is for. So we've performed a lot of low-hanging fruit previously. This particular project, we're focusing on increasing the median width. So currently it's just a 2-way turn lane center line, and we're looking at adding a median. So in the bottom right picture, you see a 2-way left turn lane. So those are about 12 to 14 feet wide. We're looking at somewhere a little smaller than that, something about 6 to 8 feet wide in the center. If you drive Kubler, if anyone drives Kubler Road, there's a separation there. It would be a little wider than that. So we wanted to pick county roads though, so that's why we have the 2-way left.
Question?
Yep.
So not a turn lane, actually just a wider center divider?
That's correct.
You're not going to get out there with the double broken lines and wait?
That's correct.
Okay.
So the reason we're doing that is when we evaluated the crash rates, we saw that a majority of the fatal crashes were due to people crossing the center line into oncoming traffic. And so we want to give people extra space to recover so that hopefully they do not enter the opposing lanes of travel.
And will there still be rumble strips on both those sides of that center?
That's correct. There will be rumble strips on both sides of the center. We also, currently we're talking with ODOT, ARTS, we just got back 100%, and it looks like we are within the project for this corridor has been approved on the ODOT side, or has been chosen on the ODOT side to add rumble strips to the edges of the road as well.
Madam Chair, just a little bit of history, and Carl, maybe you know this, but we worked on this bill for, I don't know, a couple of years with Representative Post up there and got this bill. We're the first county to put in a safety corridor. I don't know if anybody's followed. I think they were going to allow 4 through this piece of legislation.
There's one other that I'm aware of, and that's in Lane County.
Yeah. So, been a project for a while.
It was my first town hall, was up in St. Paul, and it was standing room only. And the only issue on the agenda from the citizens up there was this road and how dangerous it was. And so it's kind of been an interesting thing because my term as a commissioner, this has been an issue that started when I started, and now we're just about to fix it. So it's been a lot of work to get there.
I got to meet with the city of Donald yesterday, and they mentioned this road as well.
We go up there regularly for lunches with the community, and it's a topic of every single lunch.
Yeah.
So maybe when it's all done, we should go do a ribbon cutting.
That would
Invite
be
them all
interesting,
to see it done, to this point.
Absolutely.
It is something about our system that's a little, I think, as a citizen, you're sort of like, it takes you 4 years, and you have to get through multiple different governments to just make a road safe, but that's actually how it works.
Welcome to Oregon.
It takes some time. After this is completed, we're looking at adding, you can see on the left side, Oregon 22, we're looking at adding a median barrier to again, reduce the risk of people entering oncoming traffic.
So one thing I wanted to point out, we've got pictures of roads that have similar improvements, but we will not be increasing the number of lanes. Just wanted to make sure nobody looks at those pictures and thinks we're going to add travel lanes or really widen the road. It'll stay 1 lane in each direction so that we don't have to widen the road into other properties to keep it within the right of way.
Perfect. That's a good visual to point out, Ryan. Okay, is that it?
So the last slide's just talking budget. So this is the an ARPA state fiscal recovery grant. So we've got $3 million. There's no local match for the project. So the county share is $0 unless we exceed that $3 million with our project. And then our preliminary schedule is to design this project between Now in 2024, we have to have a contractor under contract by December 31st of 2024, and the project has to be built by December 31st of 2026.
All right. All right, if there's nothing else.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Thank you, gentlemen. Madam Chair, I will move that we approve incoming funds intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon Department of Transportation in the amount of $3 million for the Coronavirus State Federal Recovery Fund grant agreement intended to fund McKay Road Northeast Traffic Safety Corridor Improvement Project through April 30th, 2027.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Madam Chair, just a point of clarification, why through 2027 if the project has to be done through 26?
That's a great point of clarification. So they gave us a few months to wrap up any billings or any punch list items, just a small buffer before the project officially closes out.
Got it, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, I have a motion and a second. No further discussion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. It always throws me off when they do that.
What?
It's like such a rhythm, you know, and then somebody.
Oh, further discussion?
You did, I didn't mean it. I asked for further discussion, but I don't actually want you to
It's
engage
just,
in
you know,
that.
Robert's rules. All right, thank you, gentlemen. Have a great day.
If I don't do it now, I'll do it more often.
Well, if you do, then I'll get into practice and I won't be so like freaked out
Get
by
you
it.
sharpen your game here.
That's right. I'm always looking for those opportunities. All right, now we're going to consider a remand of the application for comprehensive plan amendment zone change partition, CPZCP, case number 19-005, Lois Fenig, trustee of the Henry O. and Lois M. Fenig Trust. Lindsay, good morning.
Good morning again. Oh, sorry. Lindsay King for the record. Good morning, Commissioners. Today, this is an item that has been remanded back from LUBA. I'm just going to give you a brief history of the project. In 2019, Lois Fenning, trustee of the Henry and Lois Fenning Trust, submitted an application for a zone change comprehensive plan amendment to go from exclusive farm use to, special agriculture to acreage residential 2-acre minimums. They wanted to ask for a statewide goal exception for Goal 3 and Goal 14. And the hearings officer conducted a public hearing in July of 2019. The board held, that was then appealed. The board held a public hearing on February of 2021, granted approval of that application. That approval was then appealed to LUBA, who issued a remand in November of 2021. On July 6th of this year, the applicant submitted a reconsideration request of the LUBA remand with a modified proposal. The applicant has modified their proposal to change the zone, the requested zone, from AR2 to AR10, meaning it goes from a 2-acre minimum to a 10-acre minimum. This removed the Goal 14 requirement, and so they will base their new proposal on the Goal 3 exception. The board must now make a decision on that remand. The decision is either hold a public hearing on the matter or remand the case back to the hearings officer for a recommendation and then hold a public hearing. Staff is recommending that the board remand the matter back to the hearings officer for a recommendation based on the new proposal and the removal of the Goal 14 exception. And I'll try to answer any questions you may have.
I'm sure he does, but if I
Yeah, absolutely.
So Lindsay, I was looking through the new information. What's the new information that they potentially have a chance?
So the new information is the change in proposal from AR10 to AR2, essentially removing that Goal 14 exception. There also have some argument in there for the farmability of the land and surrounding uses.
Okay. And your recommendation is to send it back to the hearings officer instead of back to
Yes.
us? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
The court also told them basically what kind of analysis to use, right?
I believe so, yes.
As far as the number of surrounding properties that were relevant to the analysis, right?
Yes.
I mean, it seemed like the applicant was surprised at the court's interpretation of the statute.
I can't speak for the applicant, but based on that, LUBA gave roughly 3 specific items that the applicant needed to address
Right.
in order to bring the case back.
Yeah. So let's give them the opportunity to address those things.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am.
Let's see if I can find one here. What are we doing here? Are we,
We're just, we're remanding the case
If
back.
you're
to
asking
the
for
hearings
my
officer.
opinion,
are we set,
I would just as soon take staff's recommendation to send it back to hearings officer.
right, is that the motion to send it back to the hearings
That's
officer?
a recommendation.
Okay,
Yeah.
Madam Chair, I move that we send the application for the comprehensive plan amendment, zone change, partition, CPZCP, case number 19-005, Lois M. Fenning, trustee of the Henry O. and Lois M. Fenning Trust, to the hearings officer.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Just to clarify, it's for a recommendation.
For a recommendation.
Yes, thank you for the clarification. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, the motion passes. Thanks, Lindsay.
Thank you.
And now, we will pause our regular board session and go into a public hearing. The public hearing is to consider proposed amendments to the Marion County Comprehensive Plan to concur with the City of Turner urban growth boundary. Brandon?
Hi, good morning,
Hi.
Commissioners.
Hey, Brandon.
For the record, Brandon Reich, Marion County Public Works Planning Director. The City of Turner is proposing an amendment to its urban growth boundary and has held hearings and adopted an ordinance to add 53.1 acres of land, 50.8 for residential use and 2.8 for public use. Because establishing or revising an urban growth boundary is a cooperative process between the city and the county, the city has requested the county concur in the UGB amendment. On June 1st this year, the board approved a resolution initiating amendments to the comp plan to consider concurring in the amendment to the City of Turner UGB amendment and scheduled a public hearing for today. In 2021, the City of Turner prepared a housing needs analysis to identify the types of housing needed during the planning period until 2041. That's 20 years. And a buildable lands inventory to identify lands that were available to accommodate that needed housing. The city based its plan on a 20-year population projection provided by Portland State. The city identified a variety of housing types that the city needs and a variety of means to provide more residential development within the city. The city is proposing to add land for both single-family and multifamily residential use, as well as a public zone surrounding the Franzen Reservoir. During the city's public hearing process on the current amendments to its plan, county planning staff participated in meetings with the city. The city has addressed any issues raised by staff. Upon approval of the urban growth boundary amendment, the land would remain outside the unincorporated city until it's annexed and provided with services. In order to apply an appropriate urban zoning until the land is annexed, staff recommends the urban transition 20-acre density zone be applied to residential land and to the public land be zoned public. Staff recommends that the board concur in the City of Turner Comprehensive Plan Urban Growth Boundary Amendment, and if approved, direct staff to prepare an ordinance. With that, I'm available for any questions you may have.
Thanks, Brandon. Commissioners, are there any questions for him at this time?
I just have a question. Brandon, are you, is staff's recommendation that we just concur with it as it is, or that we modify it in some way?
No recommended modifications.
Great, that's perfect, thank you.
Okay, is the applicant going to make a presentation or come forward with anything? If so, do you want to just, Brandon, you can stay there if you'd like.
Hello, I'm Beth Goodman with Echo Northwest, the city's consultant on this project. Let's see, we started the project back in 2020, in January 2020, looking at Turner's housing needs and doing a thorough job of looking at the buildable lands inventory and a forecast for new housing needs. The city had about 49 acres of unconstrained buildable residential land within its urban growth boundary. And that 49 acres had about 189 dwelling units of capacity. With that, we would have seen, with the forecast for nearly 500 new housing units, we would have seen a UGB expansion of about 73 acres. The city elected to consider land use efficiency measures that reduced that need for more land for a UGB expansion down to about 50 acres, plus a little bit of land to buffer around Franzen Reservoir that the city of Salem would be purchasing. Through the process, we had 4 meetings with the city council to develop the analysis and to develop the land use efficiency measures, the most important of which were to allow smaller lots for development in Turner, consistent with the types of development that have been happening in Turner over the last few years. We had 3 hearings with the city council. 2 of those hearings had substantive discussion where we got a lot of input from about 20 or more people from the community. And there was considerable discussion, a little bit about some of the land use efficiency measures, but more about the configuration, so exactly what lands were brought into the UGB. There was some disagreement with some of the landowners who weren't being brought into the UGB, who had concerns about their water system being harmed by new urban growth. And so we reconfigured the urban growth boundary proposal to address those needs. And in the end, there were no disagreements from the community at the last 2 hearings about the UGB expansion, at least no substantive ones that I remember. So we resolved the concerns about some of the code changes, and we resolved the concerns about which lands would be brought into the urban growth boundary. So that's a summary of what we did.
Great, thank you. Nothing? Nothing?
Not at this time.
Okay.
Thank you.
We do not have,
Well, wait, I guess I will ask this question.
Just kidding.
What was your name again? Sorry.
Beth Goodman
Beth.
with
Beth.
Echo Northwest.
Beth, you mentioned water systems impacted. Can you share a little bit more detail about what those concerns were and how they were resolved?
It's essentially that her well might be negatively impacted, so that her water would become lower quality, or the well might dry up because of the nearness of the UGB expansion. So it was adjacent to where her well would be. And essentially she was satisfied with the reconfiguration of the UGB expansion proposal area to include her land, so she wouldn't need to worry about her well.
So she could always hook up to the domestic water supply by being there?
Once the expansion is complete, yes.
Okay, thank you. And Brandon, I'll have a question for you about that when we come back. Thank you.
okay, thanks, Beth. We do not have any individuals signed up currently for testimony in support or opposition. Is that still the case? Okay, then we'll go back to general comments. So
Thank you, Madam Chair. Brandon, didn't we allow, as in Silverton, where we had a special case out in Turner where we extended the water supply out past the UGB?
This is that very area that's being.
Perfect. Okay.
That's included
Okay,
in
so
this proposal.
this will bring them in, and future would be able to connect up without using those special, okay.
Correct.
Perfect, thank you. Solves 2 problems.
Yep, I was remembering the same thing.
Yeah. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Madam Chair, I will make a motion that we close the public hearing and concur with the City of Turner's UGB amendment and directing staff to return with an ordinance consistent with the board's decision.
I'll second the motion.
a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you.
And Turner. Nice to see you, Scott.
Hey, Turner.
And we will resume our regular board session, and unless the commissioners have anything additional for the record.
No, ma'am.
Well, oh, that's right, we don't read that anymore.
No,
Go
we
to
do
the
not.
website.
No,
Go
I
to the
have it pulled up. I know exactly what we're doing. You can go online to see what
website
we're.
and see our busy schedule.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, then, meeting adjourned.
Stay cool.
Have a good day.
Stay dehydrated.